Welcome back everyone, we've got a brand new 1 minute exclusive clip to look through of the Wheel of Time, and this has come courtesy of Fanology Prime Video on Twitter, so if you're not following them, do so right now. But yeah, let's watch what this clip is. I'm really excited to see what we've got. I didn't think we'd get anything else today.
The world is broken.
The world's broken.
Many, many years ago, men who were born with great power believed they could cage darkness itself.
Oh.
The arrogance.
The arrogance!
When they failed, the seas boiled. Mountains were swallowed up. Cities burned. And the women of the Aes Sedai were left to pick up the pieces. These women remembered one thing above all else. The man who brought the breaking of the world. And him, they named Dragon.
Holy shit.
Now, this man has been born again. We don't know where or to whom, if he was reborn as a girl or a boy. The only thing we know for certain is that this child is coming of age now, and we must find them before the dark does.
What was that? Before the dark does. Wow, so we've got our first mention of the breaking of the world. Oh, that's so exciting to hear. Okay, and we also got the mention of the dragon could be either a male or female on the show as well. I have no issue with that. And did you see Moraine? She has a dagger on her. That's so cool. Maybe I've missed that, but that was the first thing that went poof out. I was like, wow, I need to watch that again. That was so good. But yeah, that is just so cool. So cool. There's so much to break down in that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to come back and give you all my thoughts in a more orderly manner. So stay tuned. So to begin with, let's just talk about the narration in the scene from Rosamund. I think it's fantastic, and it's obviously our first mention of the breaking of the world in the show. And I cannot wait to see what they do with it. So I believe, obviously, as we know, we've got the casting announcement of Lews Therin, thanks to my friend John over at WhatUp. So now I think we're getting a much more clear understanding of the potential sort of scenes we will see Lews Therin in on the show. I think we're going to get some flashbacks of the breaking of the world, as Rosamund is mentioning as Moraine in this scene right now. And I think it was really cool to see Rosamund getting ready, and we see her with slacks and of course that dagger as well, we can't not mention. Now note, this is so cool to see. We've got a first look at the official sort of maps we will be seeing of the wrestlings on the show. I think that was something I missed on my first watch through. I just didn't connect with it. I just thought it's just a map. But then I looked at it again and it's like, wow, there's a map of the wrestlings that Moraine is looking at. And that's our first glimpse into that, which I think is so cool to see. They're not leaving anything, any little attention to detail they're really pulling out all the stops on. And then straight away after that, you can hear, obviously, over the narration, you can hear the breaking of the world and the cities burning as Moraine narrates on this clip. Up next, we have a beautiful shot, and I would say our most clear shot of the great serpent rings that all the Aes Sedai will be wearing. Now, I think it's interesting because I think we get a much nicer look at the design intricacies of it. So I would say we've got kind of two portions of it. We've got, you know, the standard ring with the gemstone in the middle, with this obviously signifying the Adja that she's from being a blue gemstone, and obviously that will be different for each Adja. Then what I think and how I perceive this to be is we've got the great serpent that is kind of wrapping itself around the general ring itself, and to make it now look the way it looks, I think, which is a cool, neat design that we've finally seen as well. And then we cannot not mention the dagger that Moraine has. I am not sure if I've ever noticed that. Maybe you guys have seen it before. Let me know in the comments down below if that is something you've seen before. But for myself, I've never noticed it. And then, woo, look at this. It's our first look at an Angreal on the show. So cool. I was blown away when I saw this. You know, and Moraine wrapping it up as well, taking it on her journey. And then we see her now getting into her what I would like to say represents her Azure a lot more, the very dark blue, to signify her being a blue Azure member. And then Moiraine, you know, she's continually narrating over this scene. She mentions how the dragon is now being reborn in this age, and how it could be both either a male or female, that she does not know whether which one it is at this time. And of course, what I believe we can take away from this scene is the fact that we are seeing a brand new scene for the show which is being created to kind of give us a bit more of a backstory on what's going on just prior to, I would say, the beginning of the Eye of the World. And I think this will now take place a little bit earlier in this series, in the first episode of course, and then we will start to see maybe potentially the introduction of the Two Rivers or Emond's Field, depending on how they're tackling the naming of the place. And then we get a really cool shot of Moiraine putting on the final layering of her clothing, and then she's leaving, I presume to be the White Tower. It potentially could not be. And then she meets up with Lan, of course, her warder, and then they're out now to find the Dragon Reborn. But yes, all in all, what a fantastic exclusive scene we've been given today. I really wasn't expecting to get another scene to, you know, break down and have to digest, but I'm all for it. I'm super excited. Anything like this now that we get, because we are so close. We're like 2 weeks away from the debut of this show, which is mind-boggling. It's really, really crazy to me. But yeah, so that's my breakdown of the clip. I think it was a really well thought out clip to introduce and to release today. It shows a lot of new things and elements that we hadn't previously seen at all being mentioned in any of the clips. For one, we have the breaking of the world being mentioned, the dragon, i.e. Luce Ferrin as well. We got our first look at an Angreal. We got our first look at a Westlands map, which was so cool to me. And of course, Moiraine in slacks and a dagger that she takes with her. So I think she's going to be getting down and dirty if she needs to be, in case she's in sort of a close quarters combat and she can't channel in time to save her skin. So yeah, really cool clip. I'm really excited to see just how this is all going to fit in with the show as we move very closely towards the show. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've seen the breakdown. And so yeah, that's the video. We've made it to the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you have in the comment. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you have down below. And of course, leave any comments on this clip that you may have, because I'd love to hear if maybe you've picked up something that I personally haven't. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video this week.